Okay, so I want to know how many of you have already logged on to Let Go and figured out which one of those commercials you're going to do. All right. Well, yeah. Okay, Andy. Which Dolph or the action movie one? Okay. No, I think and I think what's great, as Eric said, those examples, many of them are 5 and 6 years old. I mean, at the time when there were just 60 million smartphones floating around this country, not the 210 million that there are today. So there's lots that we've learned in those 5 years. We've got to do something. We've got to try something. And one of the ways, and the reason I wanted to talk about I asked about the advertising, is that one of the things that we've learned at the ARF this past year through our How Advertising Works initiative is how brands are built in the brain. So it's my pleasure now to invite Dr. Manuel Garcia-Garcia, who is a member of our research and innovation team, who's going to share some of our recent learning on how advertising works to build brands, particularly mobile advertising. So a little bit about Manuel Garcia-Garcia. You'll have to ask him why, and it's not a mistake. But Manuel is actually, joined the ARF last year. Tremendous asset. We're great to have him. He actually has a PhD in neuroscience from the University of Barcelona, and he also teaches at NYU, and we're lucky to have him in our group. So please join me in welcoming Manuel.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chris. How's everyone doing? Good. Are you guys familiar with the ARF original research project, How Advertising Works? Oh, that's good. And if you're not, you should go and check it out on our website. So as part of that project last year, and we have a lot coming out this year that I'm going to talk about too, we did this section that's the neural pathways to great creative, where we actually used neuroscience, biometrics, among other tools, to understand how to best build a campaign across platform that's very effective. So these are like some of the things we found there. First of all, that advertising across platforms is just better than advertising in one single platform. But that for that to happen, the campaign needs to be unified. So you need to be using same message, similar themes, similar aesthetic elements for your campaign across different platforms. And then we also saw that there's a big opportunity to increase impact by customizing that execution to different platforms instead of taking your TV ad and just putting it everywhere as it is. So as I said, we found that advertising across platforms is better than in one single platform. That might not be a surprise for anyone anymore. We even saw that adding digital to traditional advertising can increase your return on investment in not less than 60%. But we also saw just in lab that if someone is exposed to an ad once on TV and once on mobile, just purchase intent and an aided recall goes up by 30% compared to if they're exposed to an ad just twice on TV. But as I said, the campaign needs to be unified. You need to be using a similar message, similar theme across the different platforms. So we also tested that. And for that, we collected the brain electrical activity, the indicator of memory encoding, on a group of people that were exposed to a TV show for 30 minutes with ads, and then a while later, to a radio show with ads. And the ads were for the same brands. But in some cases, they were unified, and in some cases, they were developed in silos, like it often happens, developed by different agencies. So this is what we saw. Here in case 1 and 2, you can tell those campaigns were not unified. And then what we saw is that memory encoding for radio that was after TV was even lower than when they had seen the same brand just 30 minutes before on TV. But when the campaign was unified, you were building up on that memory structure that you've created. And you're building up in a way that memory encoding went higher by 95%. And why is this important? This is important because if the campaigns, if the creative strategy is unified, but also the execution is customized to the platform, impact is higher in 57%. But then a big question remains, that is, how do you customize the execution to the platform? And of course, what platform are we talking about? So obviously, I'm talking about mobile, and that's the focus of our next phase in creative. And why is that? Well, this is, we all know that because mobile ad spend is very high, but also because we check our cell phones over 150 times a day, and that's a big opportunity. But also, like, around 80% of us purchase goods and purchase services on mobile. So that's a good opportunity. And then Eric was talking about that immediacy that you get with the cell phone. You see an ad and you can act on it immediately, like, share, even just buy. And that's a big opportunity. But then this is the biggest opportunity. 62% of campaigns are not really maximizing mobile. They're not really using mobile the optimal way, not really customizing the execution to mobile. And that's what we're here to help you with. So these are the challenges we are facing, and these are the challenges we want to address in How Advertising Works 2017. First of all, ad blockers. Ad blockers are a big threat, but why are people blocking ads? What's going on? What do you mean people don't like ads? Ads are amazing. So we need to figure out how to make ads amazing again. But then if they're not blocked, you need to get noticed. Like, people have to see you so they can act on it. And then also, we know creative is super important. And we sort of master creative for TV, but now we have to know how to master creative for a smaller screen that's always on the go and that you're using while you're listening to me or while you're watching a movie. So how do you do that? That's different. So let's start with the ad blocking. Ad blocking, it is a huge threat to the industry, not only because the cost of ad blocking is in the billions, is huge, millions of ad blockers being installed, but this is what's scary. 90% of global growth from January 2015 to January 2016. So what's going to happen in 3 months? It's crazy. This is a great threat, and we need to address it. And we need to address it by just making better ads and making ads that people don't want to block. So making ads that are not interruptive and that are not disruptive of the experience and that provide some value, that people actually get something in exchange. So this is like some data that I found out there from some studies from the folks at MediaBricks and the Spark Experience. This is eye tracking data. This is when you are surprised, attacked by a pop-up ad or your mobile where you're actually trying to do something. So where are people looking at? Look at the eye tracking data. This is trying to get rid of it. Is there any positive impact of that? I just let you get your conclusions there. So in one of these studies, they were actually also looking at motivation, also from the brain electrical activity, and look at the motivation of this pop-up ad as compared to a banner, just to have something to compare to. It was negative. I mean, it didn't seem that people were happy with being disrupted by an ad that just spits in your face. So then in one of these studies, they developed this ad that was very integrated in a gaming app. It has the logo of the gaming app. You have the option of skipping, but if you don't skip, you get points back. It's explicitly said there and stated that you get something in exchange of your time. So if you see, people do spend some time reading the ad, and also when we look at motivation, the motivational change was at least in the positive side. So there's something we can do about this situation. We've also seen that like more integrated ads like native, they at least get twice as much visual attention as a banner ad, and also higher return on investment in the purchase intent. So there's something we can do about it, and there's a lot of research that we're going to be doing in the coming months to see what's a good format of delivery of ads on mobile that people will not want to block. But then if they don't block it, it needs to get noticed. And then we all know that it's hard to see a banner. It's really hard to see a banner. We saw in our research that a video ad gets 15 times more eyeballs than a banner ad on mobile. But still, if you have display, there are ways to make it a little more effective, to make it get noticed. So for instance, we saw that if a display is in a relevant context, like the ad is related to the content itself, here again, we're looking at eye tracking data where people are looking at, it gets some eyeballs here. So people are actually reading the ad, which is much more than what you would normally expect or see with a banner ad or with a display. You get 25% more fixation time. And also, if this ad is integrated in a cross-platform campaign, again, unified, using the same theme, using similar message, and they've seen an ad of this unified campaign in a different platform, engagement is 60% higher, which actually makes a difference. And then we've seen data all around that how important the creative quality is for TV. We've seen studies from Ipsos saying 70% of the campaign success lays on the creative quality. For mobile, it's also really important. Here you are comparing high quality, like best performers in quality of an ad, with the average. I even took the worst performers out of the equation here. And we saw that quality made ad awareness 3 times higher, brand favorability 5 times higher, and purchase intent also 5 times higher. So the creative quality does matter. So we're going to be addressing all these things in the new research project, How Advertising Works, in 2017. We're going to see how to master creative for mobile. So we want to see which are the creative, objective factors that actually drive success on mobile. But also, we want to talk to the creative experts, like Eric, who was helping me with that, and see how they actually approach mobile different from TV, and all the things that are around mobile that make it different. How do you tackle that? But then also we want to know what's the cognitive and what's the emotional reaction to the different formats and the different ways of delivery. So it's not disruptive, and it provides some value. So we'll be testing autoplay video versus click to expand, if the audio is on or the audio is off and you have to click, if in-stream, if a pre-roll, and also if you're told that you have explicitly some value in exchange of your time, does that actually make an impact? So we'll be doing that. That all will be unveiled in How Advertising Works 2017, and I hope you stay tuned for that. Thank you very much.
Gracias.